Anytime you're worried about sound going from this room to the next, we have 8-inch on center.
I like this video. It's one of the many methods of dealing with sound for construction. So the staggered stud. He was talking about them being 8 inches on center, offset from each other on that sill. There's a couple other methods. You could actually literally separate the wall, so having two separate walls completely so they're not even sharing a sill. The insulation, you want to use something that's sound attenuating, bad insulation. Then if you really need to reduce that sound, if you put a resilient channel going vertically every 4 feet so that the sheetrock is off the stud itself, you can drop that sound transfer significantly. And there's ways we measure that, and they've been measured. So let me think if I can get this right. The USG, who's one of the larger gypsum manufacturers out there, they have their wall designer. It's not really a designer, it's more like looking at existing ones that have been tested by them. And you want to look at the STC, the sound transfer coefficient, sound transmission coefficient. The higher that number is, the less sound that transfers from side to side of that wall. And that's important because there are actually codes that have minimum standards for, say, multifamily between units. You can't have but a certain amount of sound that transmits between units. And then if you're near a highway, so I did a project that's right up against the New Jersey Turnpike, which by the airport years ago, and we had to prove that the exterior walls had a certain level of sound transmission coefficient to not have the interior tenants be constantly dealing with the sound of the highway and the airport. And so what we did there is we used an exterior rock wall insulation, which has a very high, very, very high reduction in sound transfer. And there's different products you can use. So there's even ones you can put between the gypsum and the stud. You take the studs off the wall with resilient channels. Like I said before, there's so many different methods of reducing that sound transfer. So I want to tell a quick little story. My house in 1910, and I knew the exterior walls weren't insulated. So I wanted to insulate the exterior walls. We took off the plaster and lathe, put in the rock wall, and sort of day one, you could hear that sound drop from the sound attenuating bad insulation.